Hey guys, Profe Pablo here with another Minecraft tutorial. Today we are going to be building a sugarcane farm that is just not zero tick, standard sugarcane farm, but it is stackable. As you can see here, this is actually the first version I tried. Pretty good, but I have a better version I'm going to teach you guys. But before we dive in, let me give you a sneak peek. This is going to be the new zero tick sugarcane farm. If you haven't seen my video about the other one, you should totally check it out. But this one's going to have all the wiring covered. So I'll be posting that later, probably this week. Anyway, we're going to be making a stackable sugarcane farm. This is the model we are going to be making. Once I get you guys going, you can make this thing as high as you want, just like I did right here. You know, just casually looking over here to the side. This bad boy is 21 stories tall, as far as stories of sugarcane go. Very large, and they all fall down into, it's fully automatic. They all fall down into a collection system over here, and it collects up to 100 sugarcane an hour when you're away from keyboard. And this build I've been fiddling with a lot. It works really, really well. And I realize that 100 sugarcane in an hour is nothing compared to zero tick, but it is better than nothing. And we all know that Mojang's going to get rid of zero tick at some point anyway. This thing is going to be hard to build in survival, so I suggest just taking it as you gather materials, taking it one level at a time. Maybe every time you sit down and play Minecraft, build another level. And definitely you'll want to build water all the way around this thing, just in case you fall off the top, you'll land in water, and you're gonna need a lot of scaffolding. Anyway, let's get on to the build. Okay, so the one we're going to be doing is just 3 stories tall, and then you get to go on from there. But let's go ahead and get it going. Why I have a minecart and a hopper in my hand, I know not. Anyway. You're going to start off with a couple of chests. We're going to start with our collection system first. So, and I also want this to serve as a bone meal farm, so we're going to be adding a couple things onto it. So, you start off with the double chest. Come behind that double chest, and you are going to add some hoppers. So let's go ahead and grab some hoppers. And you're going to need to crouch, put those into the back. From there, you are going to need a couple of composters. And the composters are going to be creating bone meal for us. And to feed this little mini bone meal farm, we are going to need a sugarcane source. You put one on top, and then I'm actually going to finish it off with another double chest. And the reason I'm doing this is if I want to turn off the bone meal and just have a sugarcane farm, I want to be able to do that. And I'm going to show you how to do that in just a little bit. So, you put a hopper into the side, and that is where our sugarcane is going to go in. Now, next to this hopper, you're going to build a column that goes up to the hopper, and you're going to need to make it 8 long. Wow, it is raining in Minecraft world. You're going to need to make 8 of those. Good, so that's 8, and then you will need to make one more 9th one, and you'll need to make that 1 block taller. This is where our water source is going to come from for our collection system. Now out here in front, I'm going to put another block, and then I'm actually going to grab some glass. Oops. And I like using the glass blocks just in case I mess up. The glass panes are, no pun intended, a pain if you have to clean up. So, and actually now we can start putting our dirt right over here. And this is your first row of sugarcane. I'm going to finish that off with another block to make it look nice. And this is where your first sugar cane is going to be. Go ahead and put a bucket of water. Make sure it goes down to the end. And if you want to, you can wait till the end to do this, but I like doing it now just to finish off a row. I'm going to go ahead and plant some sugar cane. All right, now this first row is going to look different than the other 2 levels that we're going to make. So just be aware of that. You don't have to do anything with that information right now. We're going to make this all the way across. Put another row back here. And actually, you can make that all the way across as well. Then you'll put a block here, a block here. And what you're going to do now is put an observer on both sides. And you will need pistons that go along the back, which are going to chop the sugar cane. There you go. And now all you have to do is connect the observers to these pistons. These observers are watching these 2 end pieces of sugarcane, and when they grow, we're going to connect it in a way that all these pistons fire at once, chopping down the sugarcane. So to connect the pistons to the observer, you're going to need to put a piston here. Let's go ahead and do one on the other side. And then you're going to need to put some blocks behind this row. Okay. Now, this build, I don't know who I saw do it at first. It looks something like this. Usually I've seen it with like 1 observer in the middle or a row of observers on top. I thought of the idea of just putting 1 on either side. And so I don't know who to give credit for that. I like giving credit in Minecraft where credit is due. But I will give credit to this. So what I'm doing here is putting an observer with sand. And I saw this with a build from Navy Nexus, and I will put his link in the description. Go check out his videos, they're awesome. So let's go ahead and wire this. Run it all along the back and back to this other sand. Now, I do want to show you guys what happens if you don't have the sand. Like if you just run straight into the observer. It actually creates an observer clock, which is not what we want. So you put down the sugar cane, it fires, and it sees the piston firing and creates a circuit that just keeps going and going. So what the sand does, the piston and the sand do, is it creates just a quick pulse. Boom. And also works on this side. I like testing everything. Okay, that is the first stage of our sugarcane farm. This actually works just as is if you just want 1 floor. Okay, so let's move on to the next floor of the sugarcane. And actually, we kind of didn't finish off this top one. So this bottom one, let's finish it off. And what I like to do so that the sugarcane, so that we have plenty of lighting and so that it grows at night, is we put a couple torches. That way it'll grow, we won't have any problems with mobs, which I don't think we would anyway. So moving on to the next floor, we need a block, which will be our water source. We can go ahead and put a row of dirt, which will be our sugarcane. And then close that off with another block. And then this I'm gonna call a trough. We're making a trough of water. And this one's going behind the sugarcane, and that's how it will go from here on up as high as you wanna go. Just put the water in. The reason it has to go behind is this is our collection system. We don't want it to block our collection system. We're gonna lay down some sugarcane. And then behind here, we're going to cover this with blocks. Now, don't stop the water by putting blocks in the water, just cover it up. Okay, and then we're going to put a block on both sides. and then start doing our observers, our pistons, piston here. You did what in this cup? Get it? Ah, game crash. I guess the game didn't like my joke. Okay. Not sure what happened there, but we need a piston here, piston here, and we need pistons all along the back. There we go. Now we just need some sand. Go ahead and finish off our back row. And now we just need some redstone. Oops. Forgot to add some blocks here. Redstone connecting all the way to the other sand. That way it works on both sides. Okay, we just did level 2. Let's go ahead and do level 3, and then I'm going to show you how to make this thing even more efficient than it already is. Okay, and now we are done with row 3. So you could just encase this in glass and call it a day for a bone meal farm, but we have a couple of touches that we need to add to make it even more efficient. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to have this thing reset at the beginning of every day. So the way that you do that is you come 2 back, and then you're going to lay down a row of 6 blocks, or it's 6 blocks in total. And up here, you're going to put a daylight sensor. Now this daylight sensor serves as a double purpose. The daylight sensor is going to help us reset the machine every day, and it is also going to help us it's going to help us become a switch, because we can switch this here. Alright, so let me grab my redstone torches, and we're going to send the signal up to our machine by using redstone. So put a torch there, and then a block, torch, block, and you'll know you did it right if this remains off. If you didn't, you need to look at your torches, which one's on, which one's off. All the way up. And you will want to end with a block. Let's go ahead and close this thing up with glass. I leave a little gap here so that everything runs into the hopper, obviously. Alright, so this thing is about ready to go. I'm just going to cover up some parts over here to make it look nicer, and then one more functional piece. Okay, so the functional piece of this is going to be right here, and what you need are 2 levers. And what these levers are going to do is turn it off and on those hoppers, so that if you want bone meal, you get bone meal. If you want sugar cane, you get sugar cane. Okay, and we're going to turn those off so that it just collects sugar cane in the meantime. Okay, and just because I'm in creative, if I had the stone, I would do this too. I'm going to cover up this front part, make it look a little more solid. And you know, this back piece might just be just as effective over here. Let me put it over here. feel like it fits better. Okay, and that is it for our farm. Your reset button's right here, so you just go over here and left click, and that'll reset everything. It'll also reset automatically every day, and when these observers see the sugarcane, it will work. I'm going to speed up the random tick speed so you guys can see this in action. Okay, so obviously this is on fast forward, but this is essentially what's going to be happening. The sugarcane is going to be breaking off, going down here, filling up this, which, there we go. And if you want this to go to bone meal, you just flip these on, and it will start creating bone meal. Thanks for watching and happy crafting!